anything else we need to address then? First of all, any new business, anything come up. Looking into data centers, I'd call new business. Let me just maybe address that now. There's been a lot of development discussion about data centers in all the states. Biggest state for, just give a little background, the biggest state for data centers is Virginia, second is Texas. By some measures, in some of the proposals, Pennsylvania's in third or fourth. By most measures, they're closer to 10th, which is still high. I mean, there is an attractiveness because of some of the power. This area is attractive enough, not overly attractive, but attractive enough. I think we'll all be facing this. So there's county issues, there's township issues, and the I don't know, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 10 months ago, none of the townships around here had zoning zoning for data centers. So what we're seeing, if you're on a planning commission or if you're part of the county staff, Andy is, we're seeing a flood of proposals on zoning and helpful things. I have actually more than I can read, although I've read as many as I can. And I have in my earlier engineering days done cooling for data centers and what was used to be called, what they still are. I mean, they're data centers, they're just a fraction of the size of these data centers. So the point is, though, we do have to be cognizant of the where the world's going in data centers. There'll be many multiples of data centers in this country than we have right now. They are the future of data transmission, data acquisition, artificial intelligence, all that goes. And I'm not going to go into all the background on that and investments. I said one night the firms, the Metas, Amazons, etc., that are in this business, AWS, they have $1 trillion that they've set aside for investing, and they're looking for investors for another $1.5 trillion. So this is at least $2.5 trillion. That's just a mind-boggling number, and that's what's going to be going into data centers. And so being aware, getting as much as we can, and I think in front of this, so that we don't get surprised or somebody doesn't do something for something that isn't provided for, use not provided for, because of the way the Pennsylvania law works. So, having said that, in something like this, I think it's appropriate for the supervisors to actually ask us to do a study on this. In your meeting is the most appropriate, but you can ask us now. And I know you want us to do that. So that's
on behalf of the supervisors. I would encourage you to pursue that as soon as possible.
All right.
So right.
All right. So
it needs to be looked at.
We have 2 supervisors, so we know that. We thank you. I would actually appreciate, for something of this scale, you have a motion in your meeting for us to.
Because the one in Carlisle that's being built in Carlisle, Sammy rented that farm, it was 100 acres.
Yes.
That one back there, everything is blown apart, the roads, everything.
Yes.
And they're building that whole thing up, everything ripped up.
Yes.
And that got ripped up in November, 1st of December they started on that.
I'm aware of that. Cumberland County, yes.
That is really,
If you look at the map,
they really,
I don't have one to pass around, but if you look at the map of where some of what we're seeing, this is Pennsylvania, it looks like Pennsylvania. We're seeing a development in Pittsburgh, and we're seeing development over in here, and that one dot there is Cumberland County, Carlisle's. So it's happening, and so we do have to be aware. So Andy, maybe whenever a little bit of your part tonight, if you could give us a little bit, or give the whole team, I already know, but give the whole team like some of the guidance from the county. York County has been giving us some guidance. Franklin County has given us some guidance. So we, and obviously Andy's staff is working on this in Adams County. So that's all helpful. We don't have to start with a blank sheet of paper and figure out how to do proper data center. And just for, so you appreciate the amount of, the power, the water, about 25% of the power required, 75% of the power is for the data, to transmit the data and manage the data. 25% of what they need in power is to cool the doggone stuff. So that means that's a lot of heat that's going to be transmitted to whatever atmospheric situation you have, whatever you transmit it to a river. I mean, this is like you need a small power plant to run it, and it is a small power plant when you account for the cooling. This is the small ones take the energy of a neighborhood, and the big ones can take the energy of a very large city. And Carlisle is kind of in between. So I don't intend to go into a lot of detail on that. Thanks for the input, and we will commence that. And what I'm asking of the Planning Commission is that do the homework. What Todd, our solicitor, sent out was really helpful. And if you read one document, you may this was. I had a little time in between meetings in DC today, and I read some of this. If you're going to read one thing, I probably wouldn't encourage you to read all of it, but if you want to. But there is a white paper, one of the documents, it says white paper, I don't have to find it. One of them is a white paper on data centers. That is, I think it's 10 pages, so you don't have to read 37 or 80 pages of somebody's proposed zoning. Read that one. It's really helpful on how the data center works, what it is, the considerations of a data center. That helps, I think that'll help formulate your mind on what we need to be concerned about as we go forward. Then we got to take it apart though. Then that knowing what a data center is only part of our issue. Now we have to protect our township, our county, and what we allow, how we allow it, and how it goes forward. So I already took more time than I wanted to, but I thought for new business, data center is what I characterize as a pretty classic new business that the Planning Commission has to be concerned about. Any questions on that before we move forward? Okay.